In this video, I will show you how to track authors who publish content on your website. And we will do that with Google Analytics 4 and Google Tag Manager. Hey, my name is Julius and welcome to the Analytics Mania YouTube channel, where I teach people how to work with Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics. So if you want to stay up to date with GE4, then consider subscribing to this channel. If you run a website that contains a lot of articles and there are multiple authors who can publish them, you probably want to know which author's content performs the best. For example, which authors generate the most page views. In this video, I will show you how to measure that with Google Analytics 4 and Google Tag Manager. Let's take a look. Here I am on a demo website, and let's say that this website has a lot of articles and different authors post them. So let's say that the author of this article is one person, then the author of this article is another person, and I want to see which authors generate the most page views on my website. So to do that, first you would need to ask a developer to push the name of the author to the data layer on each article. Here is the example of the code that your developer should implement. Only after I started editing the video, I realized my mistake. Google does not allow you to send personally identifiable information to Google Analytics. And this includes full name as well. So instead of asking from a developer for a full name of the author, you should ask for something else. For example, the author ID stored in the database. Yes, I know that your reports will not be that readable anymore, but that's the reality. And now let's continue the video. Basically, it is a data layer push command with which the developer should push the parameter author, or it might be some other name like author name, author data, or anything else that you find meaningful. The name of this parameter does not matter in this case. It can be anything you want. And then this part must be dynamically replaced by your developer. And the value of this parameter should change depending on what is the real author of that article. So in one case, it might be John Doe. In other case, it might be something else. So just copy pasting this code on a website will not work. This part must be dynamically replaced by your developer. And another important thing is that this code should be added above the Google Tag Manager container on your website. Because in that case, this value will be available for you at the earliest moment when Google Tag Manager container loads. So you will be able to use that on events such as container loaded. So let's pretend that I have already asked a developer to implement that data layer push on the code. So now we have to check if that is working properly. To do that, I will need to go to Google Tag Manager container that is installed on your website, and then I will need to click preview. Then I will enter the URL of the page where I want to test this and click connect. Then I will click this article, and in the preview mode of Google Tag Manager, I should see that the very first message in the stream right here on this page is message. Click it and then expand it. And here I see that the developer pushed to the data layer this parameter. As I've said, the name right here does not matter. So in my case, that was page author. And here is the name of the author of that article. If I went to another page, for example, this one, then I go to the preview mode and click the new message. And here I see a different author of the page, because that is the author of that particular article. So it looks like this is working fine in the data layer. The next step is to configure Google Tag Manager to catch this information and to send this to Google Analytics 4. To do that, first we have to go to Google Tag Manager, Variables, and then in the user-defined variables, click New. Click Variable Configuration, and then select Data Layer Variable. Here we have to enter the name of the parameter, which is visible right here, page author. That is case sensitive, so I have to enter with the uppercase A. And then let's name this variable and save it. Now I have to go to tags, open my Google Analytics 4 configuration tag. In this video, I presume that you already know how to install Google Analytics 4 with Google Tag Manager and you know what this tag is. If you don't, then take a look at the description of the video where I will explain how to install GA4. Click this tag. In this tag, click on this pencil or anywhere right here on the white background, and then click Fields to Set. Here we have to enter the name of the parameter that we are going to send to Google Analytics 4. That parameter will be the name of the author. So you can click Add Row and then enter something like page author or something else. In this case, you can name this parameter whatever you want because we are adding a custom parameter in Google Analytics 4. And then here, the value will have to be the data layer variable that we have just created. That variable will dynamically take what is in the data layer. If the author name is different, that variable will take that other name, which is available right here. So in this field, click this button and then add that data layer variable. Click Save. Now let's test if this is working properly. I will click Preview. This will refresh the preview mode. And then let's say that I will go to this article right here. Then I go to the preview mode and I check the most recent message. And I see that this is the name of the author. And on container loaded event, my configuration tag has fired. I can click it and I see that one of the fields that was set with this tag was page author. And here is the value of that parameter. Now let's go to Google Analytics 4 and test if that data is properly received. Click Configure, Debug View, and then select the most recent page view. And here you will see all the parameters that were sent with this event, and one of them is page author. If I click it, I will see the name of the author. But we are not done yet because this is a custom parameter, and by default, other Google Analytics 4 reports will not show the data of this parameter. We have to register it as a custom dimension in order to start seeing the data. So let's go to Custom Definitions, click Create Custom Dimensions, and here you can enter any name you want, for example, page author. Make sure that the scope is event, and then we have to enter the name of the parameter. So the name of the parameter is the one that we have entered right here. So copy it and paste it right here. The reason why I see this error is because I have already registered this dimension before recording this video. But if you are creating a new dimension, you will not see this error. And then you will need to click Save. So after you do that, then you will need to publish your Google Tag Manager container by clicking this Submit button and then clicking Publish. And then these changes will go live. After 24 or maybe 48 hours, you will start seeing the data of that custom dimension in your property. And I mean Google Analytics 4 property. So now let's imagine that 48 hours have passed. And now I want to build a report of how many page views does each page author generate. So I will close this and then I will go to Explore. Here I will select blank, and here in the dimensions, I will need to click plus in order to add additional dimensions. So the first one will be event name because we will use that in the filter. And then the other one is page author. Add it and click import. Then metrics. So in this case, I'm focusing only on page views. So I will click plus and I will add the metric, which is called views. This is the metric that shows the count of page views and screen views in mobile apps. Click this checkbox and click import. Now let's double click on the page author. It will be added to the report, and then double click on views. And now I see authors, I see page views, and also I see not set. So this means that we have a bunch of events from the past where we did not track the page author. Or maybe some pages just did not have that parameter because maybe not every page is an article. So if you want to exclude this, you can either do the right click and then exclude selection, or you can add a filter. So in the filters section, click here, event name, and then exactly matches page view. Click apply. You will still see the not set value, but over time, the number of this metric right here will decrease because you will have more and more data about the page author. Also, again, not every page might have an author. For example, homepage will not have an author, probably. So the value of that particular page will remain as not set. But again, if you don't want to see this in the report, you can do the right click and then exclude selection. This will add another filter, and now we see how many page views each author generated. And that is how you can track page authors with Google Analytics 4 and Google Tag Manager. If you found this video useful, hit the thumbs up button below the video because it helps me continue working on this channel. Also, if you want to learn more about Google Tag Manager or Google Analytics 4, then consider subscribing to this channel. My name is Julius, this is Analytics Mania, and I'll see you in the next video.